Liverpool are fun to watch. They're probably the most entertaining team outside of Paris Saint-Germain right now, that I would always make sure I'm watching their games, because offensively, they're fun, they're dynamic, anything can happen.
Every game matters, and none more so than the one Sunday, 11:30. Arsenal on the road at Anfield. See their last 5 meetings. Now, that won May 11th of last year. They were 1-2 in the league last year, but it was done and dusted by that point in time. In October, when they met, there was some drama there, another draw, and you see the previous fixtures through the last couple seasons. All right, welcome back into Scoreline, presented by Taco Bell, alongside my guy Ian Joy. I'm Dalen Cuff. All right, this match is one. As soon as this fixture list came out, everybody was circling this, thinking, would this determine the winner come May? Where are you on that question?
I don't think it does. I think it's far too early to be able to determine, but it will give us an idea of exactly where both of these clubs really are. I mean, many people out there have heard me critique Liverpool defensively and bet against them this season, but I guess we'll find out very early on in the campaign exactly where Liverpool's defence really is. You're going up against the Arsenal side, who have a very good record against Liverpool recently. They haven't lost in 6 Premier League games against them, so now I'm intrigued to see, okay, Liverpool's fierce, electrifying, dangerous offence against Arsenal's ridiculously strong and stubborn defence. I mean, this is where the matchup could play out. I think Arteta tactically is better and has learned his lessons over previous years. He goes into this game, in my personal opinion, as a slight favourite. Now, not many people would expect me to say that, obviously.
The bookies don't.
They don't. Again, they don't. Of course they don't agree with me, because Liverpool have scored 7 goals in a couple of games. I mean, who's betting against that? If Liverpool keep scoring goals like that, of course, they should go on and win the Premier League title. But I do think the defence is going to actually win them the title. If they get that solidified, it should be fine. But from what I've seen from Konaté and Virgil van Dijk, there's a lot to be worried about. Arsenal have got better. Obviously, bringing Gyökeres into the lineup, he's the player that I was expecting to come. I thought it was a great addition for them. He's maybe the missing piece to the puzzle, and I think they've got even more stronger outside of that. Now we've talked about multiple injuries. Odegaard looks like he's going to be okay to play. Saka's going to be a big loss for them. Obviously, Kai Havertz's news, not good news either, requiring surgery. But Arsenal are deep now, and I think they go to Anfield trying to play their game and see if they can pick up a very good result. A draw wouldn't be a bad result, I don't think, for either side. I think both would be happy with that draw, but we don't want that. We want a draw. I think the last 3 games have been a draw. I don't want that. I want to see a winner in this game, one way or another.
Well, I know which way I'm going. I'm the North London guy. So before we get into some of that, though, I want to stay on Liverpool in terms of we're still, championship market, got a couple days left. And we talked about so many signings for them offensively. We know they're absolutely loaded there. But defensively, you just mentioned 4 goals allowed in the Premier League. You add in the Community Shield against Crystal Palace. That's 2 more goals. So 6 goals in 3 competitive matches, if you will. Do they need to augment? Is it another central defender? Is it a central defensive midfielder? What do they need to do to help that struggling defense you mentioned?
Yeah, it's an interesting talking point right now, and most people out there would absolutely critique anyone who tries to go against the fact that Liverpool have a shady defence. And I'm going to throw it out there. It's an ageing defence with Virgil van Dijk. He's into his 30s now, and even though he's won aerial duels and he's won duels, they have looked vulnerable defensively, and it's probably because of Konaté's performances more than anything else. He's looked rather shaky, maybe got Real Madrid in the back of his mind. You've added fullbacks in different positions. Obviously, the left fullback, Gyökeres, has come into the lineup and not necessarily looked himself, certainly a better player at Bournemouth, but he will get better as time goes along and he integrates himself with the squad. In that fullback position on the right-hand side, I think it was well and truly open with Frimpong's injury. But they score so many goals, Liverpool. And this is where I don't want to be misunderstood. It's not that I don't like Liverpool. Liverpool are fun to watch. They're probably the most entertaining team outside of Paris Saint-Germain right now, that I would always make sure I'm watching their games, because offensively, they're fun, they're dynamic, anything can happen. Last gasp winner from a 16-year-old against Newcastle. They have goal scorers from everywhere, including the young players who are coming through their ranks. But I do think that that defence at some point will be tested, will be found out. That's my opinion. This game is going to tell us a lot about that defence. If Virgil van Dijk and Konaté and Gyökeres has a great performance and looks like maybe Conor Bradley will play that position in right fullback, then fair enough. These are the games you've got to step up and be champions. This is where you win your opportunity to become a champion again. Liverpool are the team to beat. Arsenal not going into this game as a favourite, but for me, they are.
I think you're alluding to what maybe your parlay of the day here later on, but we'll come back to that in the E-block, as they say. Let's talk about the Gunners. And this was posed by our producer to me, and I argue with it, and we'll go back and forth on this right now. You mentioned the injuries. Havertz injured, Saka injured. But do they have the deepest squad in Europe right now to be able to sustain these?
Yeah, they do, and they continue to add there. I think obviously Eze coming through the door, it's an unbelievable player to be able to add. Madueke, a big addition for them as well. I think obviously keeping their squad healthy is going to be important to their title race. I do believe that Arteta absolutely needs to add a trophy this year. It has to be a major trophy. The Premier League title or the Champions League must be the goal, especially with the squad that they've got. But bringing in through the door an absolutely unbelievable player like Victor Gyökeres, who will get better, who will improve in front of goal. Last week was just an example, obviously, against Leeds when he got a couple of goals. I think he's going to step up his game to the next level and be even better. Saka's injury is a big blow for them because he's a key player to everything they kind of do on that right-hand side. Odegaard, I hope, plays in this game against Liverpool because I want to see the best teams compete head-to-head and see which squad is better. But they've got better in the full-back position. They've obviously got a very good goalkeeper. Arsenal are loaded right now. They have squad quality in depth, better than anyone else in the Premier League. I'm going to throw that out there. In the whole of European football is a difficult ask. I think PSG obviously have got a great deal of depth. I think you look at Real Madrid now, they've got depth. Barcelona have depth. Even Atleti have depth as well. So there are teams across world football who do have depth that can compete against Arsenal as far as the quality goes. But if Arsenal, let's just put this to example, and you can tell me, give me your answer, your honest opinion here. If Arsenal ball out and play their best football, do they win the Premier League and do they get to a Champions League final?
Oh, man. Are they healthy? Because this is the thing. You guys want to tell me how good their squad is. But
completely healthy. And playing their best ball.
I think it's so hard to win that league, to win the most competitive league, and also get to a Champions League final. I think you have the guys that have done it before, have the steel to do it before, and it's not going to seem like a task too tall. I don't think they can do that. I think it's going to be one or the other to have great success in. I hope it's the Premier League, honestly, because the Champions League, it's a bit of a roll of dice. It's a different animal. I think the 10-month slog of the Premier League, I'd rather have that trophy at this point in time. I think it's more realistic, honestly, over the course of 38 games. These injuries, though, remain concerning. Odegaard likely is going to go this weekend. Saka and Havertz, as we already said, are out. So who is going to step up? What do you look at from a tactical and personnel perspective that Mikel Arteta can do to augment with these injuries?
Well, there's that depth. Eze immediately into the lineup. Of course, Madueke comes into the lineup as well.
Let me ask you, those are two new guys. Madueke featured well the other day, but you got Eze who's never played for this squad before. So how does that, as a former player, how does that impact to come right in and be dropped into Anfield in this environment?
I think it's a great opportunity, obviously, for him to potentially showcase exactly how good he really is, right? We know he's an international player now. We know he's got great quality. He's clearly a great human being for the way he's handled this transfer saga. Now he's at the football club. Now it's down to business. I think Arsenal Football Club, in the way that Arteta runs his ship, is so well organised. It's basically picking a piece of the puzzle and slotting it right in. For example, let's look at Kvaratskhelia from Paris Saint-Germain. Missing piece of the puzzle that probably won them the Champions League. I know there was great performances out there, and I know we can talk about Doué and we can talk about Donnarumma. I understand that, but at the same time, I think Farah was the real key to Paris Saint-Germain's success and someone who fit into the chemistry of what Luis Enrique was trying to do. Arteta's doing something similar. He only wants the right pieces at his football club. So I think Madueke is a great addition to the squad. Eze, I think, will be even better. You've also got the youngster, Downman, who I think can be a real superstar. If you keep on giving him opportunity like Arteta's doing, watch this kid. He is going to absolutely tear it up.
He got his debut last week against Leeds, and now Rio Ngumoha, his fourth touch of the match. He has the game winner on the road at St. James Park in deep extra time, up a man, mind you, against Newcastle. You mentioned Downman already. Will Rio feature in this game? Give me your thoughts about these two young men, young boys still, playing in this atmosphere.
Yeah, crazy to become the second youngest debut Premier League goal scorer in history, right? I mean, what a great moment. And the way that he did do it, obviously, in the matchup. I'm a big fan of what Downman does. Obviously, he's still only 15 years old, which is absolutely ridiculous for us to even be talking about. I know there's rules and regulations making sure that he gets to his bed early on time and he gets his schoolwork done. But I do think Rio is an outstanding player and someone who was well fought for, obviously, with Chelsea and Liverpool, and eventually Liverpool won out with him. I'm intrigued to see how they handle the occasion, because it could come down to one of these youngsters winning the game. Obviously, we talk about the big goal scorers. You only have to go to the betting, and I know we're both into that phase. I think if you look at the anytime goal scorer, the lowest odds you will find right now are plus 170 anytime goal scorer for Mohamed Salah. It tells you that this game is going to be incredibly difficult to read. Who's betting against one of these youngsters being the hero from the game? Who's betting against one of these youngsters coming on and have an impact in this game to potentially take in all 3 points and then dictating how the season goes from here on out? Schlott's lucky. He's got a great squad, great quality squad. A lot of youngsters waiting to break through as well, but so's Arteta. Don't forget about it. Arsenal not coming to town just for the match. They're coming for all 3 points.